That's awesome. So, a big day. How gratifying is this for you, Jay, to stand on that stage and confer those degrees to these people that have worked so hard?
It's an awesome responsibility. I mean, it really is. It's a pleasure. It's a true benefit to stand up there and provide leadership for this college, for these students, to challenge them to go to the next level and do great things. And that was some part of my comments today is don't let good be the enemy of great, and talk to them a little bit about Jim Collins' book on that real quick, and just planted that seed that you can do great things, but you can't ever settle for just doing good things.
Yeah.
And so, and use some of those quotes about, you know this from your business background. You can achieve greatness, but you got to do it through great employees, great leadership.
No doubt about it.
And you've got to have that focus. And so, that's what we focus on. And it just reminds me when I see these students and how much they've accomplished and how much they've grown. And then to see them a year or two later, or 2 years later, graduate at the university, or they're at one of our local industries and they're making a difference, and they're having great earning potential there. So
in the workforce.
It's exciting, absolutely.
Yeah, and we also want him to stay right here in Mississippi while we're at it, right?
100%. I have some data to share with you on that, if you don't mind.
I knew you would.
I've got it. We did an economic impact study as community colleges. All 15 of us went in together, and then we got some individual college data. So 90% of our associate degree and certificate graduates go on to either work in the state or enroll in one of Mississippi's four-year public universities.
Okay.
So 90%.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Now, we're about 98% Mississippi residents at Itawamba Community College.
Okay.
So, that's wonderful. We have, then you'll also end up with, we're running about a 50% graduation rate. That's compared to about 40.1% as a system of community colleges. So we feel really good about that. But we transfer more students to Mississippi State University than any other community college, and that's proximity by and large, but it's also, I think, the work that our faculty are doing in the classroom. So IHL gives us some data every year, and we're able to look at that at our graduates and the amount of degrees they're producing when they transfer to one of those 8 public universities, and they're producing the second highest number of bachelor's degrees of any community college in the state. And we only are missing the number one by 34 graduates. And so I'm on it. We're going to try to beat that.
Absolutely.
But what's great is our graduates have done that with the highest GPA of all community college transfers and a higher GPA than the student who started at the university. So that means our faculty are quality, and they're doing quality work in the classroom and supporting those students. And then all of those wraparound services and experiences are promoting success in the classroom.
That's totally awesome. So what's the enrollment now?
Enrollment's 5,200 or so.
Okay.
We're looking for some increase this fall as well. We house 1,246. I could probably house 1,446 or more. We'll have 300 plus on the waiting list, I'm afraid, by the time we get to housing assignments in the next week or so. Great problem to have, but I wish I had more space.
Well, I was going to say, we're kind of bucking the trends in higher education in the state of Mississippi relative to the rest of the country, are we not?
We are. And in my opinion, Mississippi has the best community college system in the country.
No doubt.
And I've worked in another state as president, and so I've seen that. What makes this one so successful is you have residential campuses with athletics, 220-member marching band on this campus, so it feels like a university setting. It's that true collegiate atmosphere, but at a price point nobody else can touch. And the great thing is we take students no matter how prepared or ill-prepared they are, and we get them to success. At a price point, again, nobody else can touch. So when we put all that together for the state, it's a product really very few states offer, if any, at the level we do.
You would agree, I believe, that the true litmus test is the testimony from the employers.
Absolutely.
What do they tell you?
They're telling us, we have a strong partnership with our industries that are hiring our career tech graduates. So those students that have a 1 or 2 year degree graduating with us and going straight to the workforce. And so an apprenticeship model, most of them are in class 2 days a week, and it's a long 8 to 4:30 type day, and then they work 3 days a week with one of those apprenticeship partners. So it's an earn and learn model. They're getting paid well. Most of them get job offers afterwards. So they're giving us immediate feedback as those students are growing both educationally and experiencing that job site. We want that feedback. That's part of that partnership.
Sure.
And then we have our advisory groups for each program. So they're giving us that feedback as well, especially as we find out what's coming in the industry next. And so in our manufacturing setting, we've seen a huge amount of automation. So that means we have to then be prepared with the newest robots they're using and find a way to purchase those trainers and be ready for that. And so it's a give and take. We can't do it by ourselves. We have to have their help at times, their knowledge, but sometimes their assistance in buying power.
Yeah.
Toyota's been great to donate us some robots they were taking off the floor, still operational. Our students are able to use those, put multiple robots in one cell and learn how those work together. So it's that it takes that effort, but they want more of our graduates. That's the best thing.
Yeah.
They're not asking for less, they're always asking for more.
Well, to a great extent, they're equally your customer as are the students, right?
100% they are. We have to keep them as happy as we keep our students is a reality.
Yeah.
And we want them to want more. We want them to be proud of the work that's being done by those students. We love it when they bring our graduates that are now working for them back to those recruiting efforts
for
those to get more apprenticeships. So that's the thing. It's our students get to shop. They don't have to take the only one that they get because they're going to get multiple offers most of the time.
It's a tight market.
Absolutely.
It's a competitive market.
Absolutely.
Good news for the students.
Absolutely.
Seeking employment.
In our health science area, there's always need for more nurses, more healthcare workers, and so we're very proud of what's occurring in that area as well. And it's a constant churn of keeping up the quality of employee we're putting out as a graduate. So we're working at that all the time as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Something that's impressed me, Dr. Allen, through the last few years at least, that there's more collaboration between higher ed and industry. And it hasn't always been that way.
It hasn't. I inherited a really good model here, so this is my ending of my 8th year, and so I've been able to fan that flame and work to grow that more. I've got a tour coming up, I believe, next week at another industry partner. I try to do those about once a month and see what's happening in manufacturing, sell them what we can do for them in a training environment.
Sure.
How we could leverage state dollars when appropriate, how our trainers have expertise, or we can help them find people that have the expertise to do that training. And we have repeat customers all the time, obviously, and so we're working to meet that need for them. It takes a partnership.
Yeah.
When I tour, I ask, what's next?
Yeah.
What's coming to you next? And how do I prepare for that? And we've seen a plant here, Stanley Black & Decker, was not automated much at all when it was MTD. Stanley Black & Decker came in and bought that, and they've improved automation at a tremendous pace. They didn't lay anybody off. But as natural attrition occurs, they move people around the plant. Sure. But now they need more of our industrial maintenance techs, more of our precision machinists. So that's the beauty of this, is that we're training people not just for the jobs today, but the jobs of the future.
Yeah.
And they're changing. There's no doubt about it.
Well, even what were customarily and historically more labor-intensive type jobs, those have gotten to be a lot more intellectual, a lot more sophisticated, a lot more complex, and you need an education for that.
And you're going to use an iPad in many of those jobs versus a wrench.
That's a good point.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Our ability to program PLCs, programmable logic control.
Yeah.
When you pull up to the red light, that's what tells it you're sitting there and which light to turn on and off. And our guys and women, they program that.
Yeah.
And so we just opened up a new robotics lab. So we renovated space at our Belden Center, put in our new robotics lab, unbelievable facility, but it's really twofold. One is a better space for our students to learn, but probably the most important part is it is so inviting to tour groups. As we tour K-12 through, as we tour industry through, new industry that's looking to locate here through, they see what we're able to do, and it's in a situation that is wonderful to tour through, where before it was not, and now it is. It's important. We've got to entice these students to look at career tech. We don't have near enough asking about these programs, and so anything we can do to get their interest piqued and for them to see how high tech it is, that's the exciting part.
It truly is fantastic. And before we go, another point I want to make: you guys in the community college community, within the state, you collaborate and idea share quite a bit.
We do. We work together well. I think that's always been that way. I hope it's better now than it might have been in the past even. And it takes that. We have to learn from each other. We have to know that our partner in another part of the state is serving a region of the state, and they may not have the same need we do, and vice versa.
Sure.
So we learn from each other.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Dr. Jay Allen, the president of Itawamba Community College, has been our guest. It's graduation day. Jay, congratulations on all your success and all these students for their achievements as well. And thanks for your service to them and that of all your team here.
We appreciate it. Glad y'all are with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Folks, we're stepping aside for a break. We got half an hour of midday.